be more than human.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is J.R. Carroll. I am the author of the More Than Human novels, and I want to say thank you to all of you who are watching this video on Christmas or after Christmas. If it is Christmas, I hope you are having a great holiday. And if it's after Christmas, I hope you got all the stuff that you wanted. In this video, we're going to talk about all the open series or unfinished series that I currently have and whether or not they're on the naughty list or the nice list. And whether I am DNFing them permanently, shelving them for later, or if they're a priority in 2024. So we are going to start with the Greenbone Saga. This one is a little bit, I'm cheating here a little bit. I am on the second of the trilogy, or actually I'm on the third book of the trilogy, and I'm about 25% of the way through the book. And I'm actively reading. That's the book I am reading right now. It's just with holidays and everything, I'm reading a lot slower than I normally do. But I will be finishing this. This is a priority. It'll probably actually be done within the next week, definitely before the new year. But yeah, I'm really liking this series. I'm very interested to see how it's going to end. I feel like it's not going to end on like a really like big moment, big thing. Maybe it might end on a sad note, is my guess. So, you know, I may do like an overview of the Greenbone Saga. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. And from here on out, let me know. Like, I'm gonna give you my opinion on what I'm gonna do with these series, but let me know if I should continue a series or if you have continued and it just didn't get any better. Let me know in the comments. Be like, don't go on, or if it's in the series and maybe I'm just not seeing it and it gets way better later on, tell me to keep going. So let's kind of jump into these. All these ones I'm not actively reading, so we'll kind of see where we go. The Dark Elf Trilogy, I think it's part of the Crystal Shard. And it was one of the very first books that I reviewed here on the channel a year and a half or more ago. And it's the first book I read was Homeland. And I just felt like it was a super generic fantasy. I mean, it was written quite a while ago, if I can speak, and it's part of the D&D thing, and I like D&D, but I was never huge into it, so I felt like a lot of the stuff would have been enhanced if I already knew about the creatures or about the places, and then some of the stuff some of the writing, I don't know if you want to call them plot holes or whatever, but I've seen a lot of stuff in it, and I'm just like, that doesn't really make sense. So I am probably DNFing. I still, like I said, it was one of the very first books that I read and reviewed when I started my channel, and I still have not come back, and I just don't plan on coming back to that one. The only thing is they're really short books, so I could just run right through them, but it just didn't hook me enough to make me really want to go back. The next one is the Monster Hunter International books. I went through the first book and absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. There are 8 books in the series, so I'm 7 behind, and it is a priority for me. Will I get through all the 7 rest? I probably won't. But I feel like this could be a book that maybe is on my TBR every other month. I feel like that's a thing. And the books do get, I think every book gets shorter after. Like the first book was quite a long book, and I think they all get shorter, which is fantastic. I love that. Give me some more short books. But it is a priority for 2024. Then we have Harry Potter. I I'm through 3 books, so I got 4 books to go. And I feel like this is a priority. These are not long books, they're fast reads. And I feel like it would just be good to have Harry Potter under my belt. And also, I'm at the point where I stopped watching the movies too. So my wife and my son love them. So I think maybe I'll read a book, watch a movie, and maybe do some shorts and kind of talk about how I felt about it. But Harry Potter, I don't know if I'll finish them all, but I'm definitely going to get a few Harry Potters in this year for sure. Then we have Malazan, the Book of the Fallen. I have a strained relationship with the series. I have went through 3 books of the 10, and I actually have read the first 3 books twice, because I read the first 3 when I was not on BookTube, and I was just like, no, I'm stopping. And then I believe it was on Steve's channel. They were doing a read along, and I went through and read the first 3 books as we were going through them. I want to say maybe Steve stopped or doing them, or maybe I just stopped jumping on the lives. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he didn't finish the series. But yeah, that's a series. You would think I would say that's a DNF, but I am thinking about rereading Gardens of the Moon, which I liked. And that's the problem. I liked Gardens of the Moon. That wasn't an issue. But I was thinking about third time's a charm. Let's try it again. But I'm gonna say shelved, just because I did make it through 3 books. None of the characters really gripped me, but who knows? Maybe I'll give it a go again. And then we have the Farseer trilogy. This was the Assassins Apprentice was the biggest disappointment. Not the worst book I read all year, but the biggest disappointment I had all year. And I know I've heard people say the second book's better, and second book's the best book in the series, so maybe they could rebound me really high, and then a lot of people say it kind of falls off a little bit on the third book. But I kind of want to say I'm going to DNF this one permanently, because I was really just disappointed, and it just nothing didn't blow me out of the water. But that might be a shelve too. I mean, maybe I'll come back to it, but it's definitely not a priority. And then we have Troy Rising by John Ringo. I am 2 books into the trilogy. There's always, since I started reading this book series, I've kind of tried to stay away from spoilers until I get through the 3rd book, but a lot of people are wanting a 4th book. So I feel like once I get to the 3rd book, there's not going to be like a finite ending to this. And it's a space opera type deal. Kind of like Expeditionary Force, and I love them. I just love them. If you like Expeditionary Force, or you like space operas, sci-fi, kind of harder sci-fi stuff, definitely jump into it. Troy Rising. Then we have His Dark Materials. I am through the first of the 3 books, and this is 100% a shelve. I don't want to say DNF because the book was alright, but it's not a book series that's like priority. I definitely got to get back to it. But it might be one of those things where if I have a light month, have not a lot going on, I'll pop in that 2nd book and knock it out. And they're shorter books too, which is good. And then we have Throne of Glass. I've read the 1st book of the 7-book series, and that's a DNF. The book's not horrible like some people. I just think people are mad that if a book gets like Sarah J. Maas gets you to Sarah J. Maas's level, it should be an amazing, just crazy good book. And I just think it was marketing, the type of book, timing, it all kind of hit together. But yeah, that's not a series I'm going forward with. It's not enough series that's made for me either. So no harm, no foul. Tried it, gave it a shot, but no, I will not be continuing with that. Then we have Dune. I read the first book of the 6-book series, and I don't know if the second book is short. It's a really, really short, or if it's the third book. Um, I would say right now those are shelved. I don't have any major plans to like really kickstart it. I liked it. I definitely will read these, but they're not really a priority. Maybe towards the back end of 2024, because there's a lot of books that I kind of want to get started or get through in the first quarter. And then Hyperion Cantos, read the first book. It was okay. Hyperion was one of those books that I'll say like it had some of the highest highs of any book. Some of the coolest things I've ever seen in a book. But then it also had some really low parts where it was just really dull. So there's 4 books on there. I kind of, because there's only 4, and it is kind of like a legendary, the Hyperion Cantos. I kind of really do want to finish those, but they're kind of shelved right now. They're shelved for now, but I'm definitely going to get at least another one of those books in this year for sure. At least book 2 at some point. Then we have the Iron Druid series, which I am 2 books through. It's a 10-book series. I think it just finished up last year or the year before. But it is a priority. I would like to get through all of them this year. The Iron Druid might be a every month one of those on there. And plus, I think the books all fall between like 70,000 words and like 90,000 words. So they're really short books, and I should be able to just knock them out. Maybe, they were good and fun. They're not like quite like addictive, at least not so far as like Cradle was, where I was like, I was putting 1 Cradle book on a month and I ended up reading 2 or 3. But yeah, I definitely am going to try and finish the Iron Druid series this coming year. 2024 is going to be the year of the Iron Druid, and heck, I'm still looking for a book series to read and do live discussions with, because we're almost at the end. We got only 2 more discussions for The Witcher. Maybe the Iron Druid might be the one. I don't know. And then we have the final series that I have open. Final open series that I have is the Earthsea Cycle, and I am through the first book of 6. They're all super short. It is a priority for me. I will finish Earthsea by Le Guin this coming year. 100% I will have Earthsea under my belt before the end of the year. Take that to the bank. So let me know, guys, are any of these ones that I'm missing out on that I really should prioritize? Are there some that like you've read them all and you're like, cut your losses? So yeah, hit me up in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff for the algorithm. And if you enjoyed this, check out my Patreon, where you can join for as little as $1 and control my TBR. Wouldn't that be fun? So let me know, and more importantly, be more than human.